Guys, I love you. But sometimes it feels like you're looking for reasons to be mad at me. In the Omega Prime video, I said that I used the directions, and a huge number of people were like, "You did it wrong, you idiot! God, why do you never use the directions?" In the video, I said that the wings of my Ultra Magnus do not collapse. Here is a picture of my thumb with the indentations in it from how hard I was pushing on this part. I said that I'm not willing to push harder because this is a set of figures famed for breaking, but that I'm already pushing super hard. I showed video of me trying to press that part in and it not working, and tons of people were like, "You moron, the backpack is wrong. The wings are supposed to collapse. How dumb are you that you can't figure that out?" I have been since in a call with someone who insisted to me that they show me how to do it correctly. I tried to do it the way they told me, live, and guess what? Mine don't fucking go! Mine is mismanufactured, and if the wings can't collapse, then this is the best approximation of the way that they are supposed to go that you can do. If you try and flip it around, then it sits at a weird angle and the armatures can't retract, so they stick up over his head. So please, stop telling me that I'm an idiot when I explained why it's not working before I ever talked about the fact that it's not working. There is a guy who wished death on me on Twitter for giving this thing a review that he didn't think was good enough, and he got more upvotes on that post than any I've ever made there. Thousands of people are high-fiving a guy who wants me dead because I think Hasbro phoned in this figure. Guys, what the fuck? I am sitting here arguing that people deserve better than a figure that breaks on almost everyone, and people are going, "Ugh, this guy wants the best for us? Kill him." I do this show because I want you to have the best value for your money, and I'm fine with not being liked by everyone. I'm fine with the fact that there are people who hate me. I can't be loved by everyone, and I do have an abrasive style. I get that. I get that there are a lot of people who will hate me no matter what, probably more than will ever like me. But when it's my own fans hating on me for stuff that is explicitly not my fault, it sucks. And guys, we disagree about toys. Can we bring the fucking temperature down? There were other things, like how I didn't use the spinal clip when going into Optimus's super mode, where I was called an idiot for that. But that was literally just a mistake when I filmed it, and you can actually see that I did in fact use it on the combined mode. And yeah, that was a minor failure, but it's not like I criticized it for not having something that locked the lower spine together. And fully, my bad, I forgot to do up the chrome bumper on Ultra Magnus's ass, and I also forgot to review the stand that the figures came with. I forgot and tried to remind myself to cover that thing like 7 times. It was sitting next to me the whole time I was filming, and I still couldn't remember. My review wasn't perfect, and normally I'm pretty impervious to people's criticisms, because I know that I could do better. I know that I'm not some flawless genius, and I do try to take people's criticisms on board so that way I can improve. But for once, the amount of hate I got because of it got me feeling really down, because it was so angry and so full of vitriol, and so much of it was objectively incorrect, and most importantly of all of that, it came from you guys. Came from my fans, from the people who I do this for and don't want to disappoint. You don't need to pull your punches, you don't need to treat me like I'm some fragile glass object, but please, actually listen to what I say and don't rip me apart for things that I wasn't wrong about and things I didn't criticize the figure about. I still love you guys, you still make what I do here worthwhile, but none of the last week was okay. None of that should have happened. And to summarize the review, because people just didn't seem to get it, the takeaways that mattered in it are, the figures are famously breakable, the set is weirdly off model, and at the very least the Optimus isn't much more than a re-release of the original, a figure that actually did more and was like a quarter as expensive. Those are the points that I wanted you to care about at the end. But enough with the "oh, woe is me, poor adult man who reviews toys" shtick. It's gone on way too long at the start of this episode. It's Studio Series Transformers One Bumblebee. But first, your likes! Please give and maybe subscribe. This thing is good, but it's really not better than the $20 Prime Changer figure. Like, finish-wise, yes, it's absolutely better. Plastic is clearly nicer, there is more paint, it's a blatantly higher quality type with a good-looking metallic sheen to it. This just flat-out looks way more premium than the older figure. The arms don't want to pop off anywhere near as much, and the sculpt is definitely more detailed in places. But there are some ugly issues here. The backpack makes him look hunched, the feet look weird as hell, like a pavement roller stopped on his toes. There are details that should not be there, like these weird extensions coming off of his knees. Looks like some kind of horrid robo-nipples. There are these awful parts where the sculpting just stops, ceases to be. Why the hell are there these big flaps on the sides of his legs that are just flat? Like, you can't make the excuse that it's to be accurate because you are meant to pretend that these don't exist, as obviously this version of Bumblebee needs to have really thin chicken legs to look like the movie. This looks almost nothing like the movie. Guys, I thought the whole point of the Studio Series was like supreme screen accuracy, but this isn't even like middling accuracy. Like, you are supposed to be able to see Bumblebee's abs, but here his moobs hang all the way down to his crotch. His shoulders should be over his collar line, his arms should be way less greebled. Like, did they once again base this off really early concept art? How does the Studio Series look this off? This is why I'm saying that I find this to be about as good as the Prime Changer. Like, I really like that thing, but it's a cheap figure. What's this thing's excuse? And why does it have a face that looks like Samwise Gamgee? Like, this isn't a bad head at all, and a lot of the details are there, but I just don't really hear the voice from the movie when I look at this. More like, "Hey guys, it's me Bumblebee. I'm here to join the party, but we have to be back before 8. My parents want me home when it's still light out." So the quality control on this thing is quite good, and the sculpt is fine. It's not nice or anything outside of a few blank bits, and the greeble I think looks solid enough. It's just that it looks like Bad Acetron's not too convincing stunt double that they found outside of a bus stop an hour before filming. He looks normal, he looks fine. He looks like some flavor of Bumblebee. Just don't hold on a shot of him for too long, or people will start to question if he's called Bumblebee because he was attacked by a horde of hornets on set that day. As for accessories, I think he comes with this gun from the movie. I'm pretty sure that this is the figure this came with, but I can't remember for sure. And he comes with his 2 knife hands. These are not blast effect compatible, and there's something distressing about looking at it when they're both on him. Like, this is the all-new Bumblebee action figure with extreme double amputee action. It's what he had in the movie, and I can't really imagine him coming with anything else, unless it's like Steve's head or something. Honestly, I would have killed for that. Then you have the posability, and this is just another place where it's really not better than the other guy. Head has some solid up and down and a good rotation. Shoulders pull slightly less than a 90. Elbows pull even slightly more less than a 90. That tracks, right? Like, the elbows are better. They still don't pull a 90 though. No wrists, back crunch, hips are unimpeded forwards and somewhat impeded back into the sides, slightly better than 90 knees. I think these stole like 1 or 2 degrees from the elbows. And feet with a great toe down, a great pivot, and you can cheat them for a great toe up. But it's usually not a very good thing to say that the best part of a figure's articulation are the feet. Like, this guy is just a bit below the average in general. It's nice that he's got a back crunch and all, but the shoulders are more limited than normal, the elbows are more limited than normal, the wrists don't exist, and the hips are more limited than normal. And I have to say it, the $20 figure was way better on the posing. More range in basically all of its joints, exactly as much no wrists, and while the new version does have a back crunch, and that's nice, the other figure has the far more useful backwards butterflies. And the transformation is a lot worse too. To be fair, the other figure's transformation was actually really fun, so this had an uphill climb from the start. But the actual problem is that this thing just isn't. Like, yes, it doesn't have the shoulder popping problem, but its other tolerances are far less forgiving. Getting the wrists to open and flip the hands away is a pain because there's absolutely nothing to grab onto. Flipping the hands away feels like you're breaking them. There's something seriously weird about the tolerances in there. I find that the trick to the wrist doors is to try and transform the hands before they're open. That pops them just enough that you can get your fingernail in there and pull them apart. The tabs on the sides don't like pegging into the armpits, and the legs are just kind of sloppy feeling. And it's not like this is super complicated. In fact, it's a really pretty basic, boring conversion, which in its own way is kind of shocking because the Prime Changer felt like a more clever version of this. But the main issue here is just that absolutely everything about it has this taint to it. Not a single step feels like what it should, while the other Bumblebee had at least way crisper clicks and snaps. And when we get to the alt mode, once again, I like the Prime Changer more. But unlike the transformation, this is not an ass-kicking in that thing's favor, and this does have its own strengths. Once again, the finish here is clearly superior. It looks more premium, though interestingly, the old figure had painted taillights where this doesn't, and the sculpting here is worse. Like, technically here, this is also more high-end, but like the result is that the sides look weirder than the old figure, the coattails look weirder, the hinges are more prominent, there's this gap running down the side, though it still does look like a car with a shit-eating grin, so it's at least got that going for it. And you know, this does roll extremely well, but so did the Prime Changer, and ultimately I have to say, just get the cheaper figure. It's just better. This thing looks more high quality thanks to the plastic and the paint, and to a degree the legs, since the inside of the knees down on the old one looked very hollow. But as for accuracy, these things are almost identically off model. The Prime Changer has the cog gimmick that this doesn't have. Accessories go to this since it's got more. Posability goes to the old figure in a big way, just being generally better in almost every last way, save for the feet. The transformation on that thing was also seriously fun, while on this it's far from the worst I've ever handled, but it's still a pretty big drag. The alt modes are on par with each other, but I like the other one more, and most damningly of all, the other one is cheaper. This isn't a bad figure, but it's remarkably similar to the other one, and when it's $5 more, why buy this when you can buy that, and probably have a better experience? And even if that thing was slightly worse, which it's not, it's still $5 less, which means it would win. This is a fine figure, absolutely nothing to hate about this. It's just not quite as good as the other more affordable official option, so that gets the recommendation over this. But if you can't find that, this is fine, go ahead. And before we go, let's thank a channel backer. And this time it's the Great Soundwave with Legacy Core Class Grimlock, which I assume you're trying to troll me. But it's not a bad figure. It's a goofy little thing that definitely could be better, but it's at least pretty fun. It's not trying to be anything great, just a silly little good time at a cheap price. And I can respect that. I think that they could absolutely have fit elbows onto this guy and not had it be any more expensive than it already was, especially when his foot mode is him just balling up and not really transforming. But otherwise, yeah, I've really got no complaints. This is a fine toy. And that's not half what I have to say, but it's enough what I have to say. And I know, you know what everyone else tells you to do at the end of these videos. So if you liked what you saw here, please do that. And if you'd like to take it a step further, then please share this video with any friend you think may be interested. I hope you all enjoyed listening to me waste your time.